Welcome to The Success Face. In this video, we'll be discussing the concept of art thinking with Amy Whitaker. Art thinking is a way of approaching problem solving and decision making that draws inspiration from the creative processes used in the arts. It involves using intuition, experimentation, and risk-taking to come up with innovative solutions. We'll be exploring how this approach can be applied to a wide range of fields and how it can help us approach challenges in a more creative and effective way. So join us as we delve into the world of art thinking with Amy Whitaker. Your input matters. We would love to hear your thoughts on the video. Please leave a comment with your opinion. The realization that art and business complement one another is fueled by art thinking. Everyone is an artist, and any field can benefit from art thinking because it defines art as the process of inventing point B. To discover your true interests and values, identify your lighthouse question. The vulnerability and uncertainty of exploring a significant question without a clear answer is referred to as being in the weeds. You can dare to self-invest in riskier projects that may fail if you use portfolio thinking to arrange sources of support and income to support the larger picture. Take advantage of your ownership stakes in the value of your work. Think about the potential for both risk and reward. Understanding how markets and business relate to your work, as well as how business modeling and project management are creative processes, are all aspects of art thinking. Working across fields and being able to answer questions in any field is necessary for combining art and business. Read a magazine that isn't related to your area of expertise or connect with people from other areas. The realization that business and art benefit from one another is fueled by art thinking. It adopts business as a system within which creativity can operate and uses art as a guide for participating in a process. Art thinking is a way of thinking that combines the creative excitement of exploration with business structure and organization. Craftsmanship is the investigation of designing point B, that is, making a novel, new thing on the planet that influences the world, rather than simply going from a to-be long-haul business achievement relies upon developing point B. However, transient execution pressures make it hard to cut out space to do that. With MBA/MFA thinking, art thinking combines mindsets of art and tools of business to advance in any field. Airborne view. Taking a broad perspective of your work permits you to lay out guideposts and benchmarks. Jim Loehr and Tony Schwartz, who collaborated on the publication of The Power of Full Engagement, described 4 types of energy: spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. For instance, elite athletes don't rely solely on one source of energy. They alternate between the 4 to let each one rest. Art thinking is a set of habits and a framework to keep space for inquiry open. New concepts can emerge during rest. The process of discovery is made possible by setting aside studio time without a specific project. You can track down imaginative work in all everyday issues, including the social, hierarchical, urban, scientific, otherworldly, sensation, tasteful, physical, material, account, narrating, and symphonious, which is the space of musicality and rhythm. Check out these places. In the weeds refers to the vulnerability of being in the middle of a project without a clear idea of how to proceed. We see other people's work from the outside when it is finished, but they also had to deal with the same uncertainty to get there, so our perception is biased. Make use of mindful habits to let the process itself control the end result. Keep in mind these 3 things. Judgment versus discernment. Put off making a decision and embrace discernment. Labeling as good or bad as judgment. Creativity can be discouraged by an expectation of excellence. Observing what is working and what could be improved as discernment. Define a grace period. Even with projects that are important and urgent, you usually have a window of time before you really need to know the answer. To give yourself more time to explore, give yourself this grace period before you have to know the answer. Stay present. Focusing on the future takes attention away from the process. Your lighthouse question. Art thinking necessitates asking questions and acquiring fresh perspectives. Identify a project's major dramatic question, MDQ, also known as a lighthouse question, rather than focusing on smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound targets. The MDQ is the film's central issue in a screenplay. The plot question, how will Harry Potter defeat Lord Voldemort, is not the MDQ, but rather something more substantial, such as whether Harry can simultaneously be extraordinary and ordinary. Building your own metaphor means becoming authentic and original by combining areas of interest and becoming greater than the sum of your parts, according to the author. The MDQ is similar to a person's crucial lighthouse question, which directs their career and life. Ask yourself questions like these to discover your true values and interests. What would you do if you had no money? Or on the other hand, inquire, wouldn't it be cool if? Or, how is it that this could be better? And complete the sentence. Your lighthouse question must fit within the structure of your financial ecosystem, or build a boat. By employing portfolio thinking and determining your ownership stakes, you can pursue your project while also developing value and maintaining life balance. Inviting people into other fields is as much an act of kindness and graciousness as it is of education. If your creative project fails, portfolio thinking means making sure you have other sources of support and income. At the point when your beacon question requires a speculation of time or cash, portfolio thinking assists you with choosing carefully. Create an investment portfolio and an income portfolio. Your work for one job or a variety of gigs. If you're a freelancer, make up your income portfolio. The jobs and gigs that will pay you in the future are in your investment portfolio. Aim simply to make them feel like they are truly seen and heard, rather than motivating people with praise and criticism. The risks you take are aligned with the potential rewards of your work and its value when you claim ownership of it. It is a long-term investment in yourself to maintain a financial interest in your work, whether through royalties, resale rights, fractional or general ownership. Because creative work in its early stages is difficult to value, ownership stakes are crucial. Racing to the end rather than staying in the weeds is a form of wanting to skip past observation to judgment. A company is broken down into 4 categories by the Boston Consulting Group's Bruce Henderson: dogs, cows for money, stars or questions, and urges equilibrium among them. Stars hold a sizable and expanding market share. Cash cows have a large share of the market but are not expanding. Dogs have neither growth nor earnings. The home of artistic thinking is the question mark. Both sales and growth are possibilities that haven't been realized yet. Put these labels on the life skills that either help you succeed or hurt you. The majority of art thinking involves transforming question marks into stars. Dealing with the innovative flow. Being the administrator of inventive activities represents specific difficulties. Managers must be aware that creative work exposes the practitioner to risk. In an organizational structure, even the most ambitious and idealistic visions must still meet expectations and goals. The good enough mother, a term coined by psychoanalyst Donald Woods Winnicott, may be the best idea for managing the creative process, with the exception of the good enough manager. A good manager helps transform a project from a risky new idea into a viable market entry, analogous to how a mother helps her child become independent. Excellence is the steady foundation of humanizing patience that comes from pushing through the weeds to the front of the pack. Project Oxygen at Google distinguished 8 qualities of good chiefs, a large number of which map onto the sufficient supervisor, being good at coaching, possessing an attitude of empowerment, being concerned about the happiness of the group as a whole, being productive and focused on results, demonstrating superior communication skills, fostering professions, giving a reasonable vision and methodology, and possessing the technical expertise to lead the team. In any field, creative work requires you to risk offering something first. A creative project manager should allow for exploration and discovery time and can foster 3 roles for the manager or team members: producers, colleagues, and friends. Guides offer useful help despite conceivable disappointment. Not the same as masters, they are educators more than specialists. Colleague friends are travelers who share both workplace expertise and the trust, objectivity, openness, warmth, and generosity of friendship. The secondary creative task of making an idea financially viable is assigned to a producer. You have a better chance of making your own contribution in creating your own life and work if you are more yourself. Some drawbacks of creative work are the never fallen off the bike problem, the soufflé problem, and the pretending to be a writer problem. The issue with soufflé is excessive monitoring. A cooking soufflé will fall if you check on it too frequently. The early stages of a creative project are just as delicate. The problem with pretending to be a writer is that you end up doing nothing but hiding behind the formlessness of creative processes. The liability of past success, self-identification as intelligent, or a lack of experience with failure are all indicators of a lack of resilience and are known as the never fallen off the bike problem. If you have never fallen off a bike, you lack self-assurance and confidence in your ability to get back on. Market structures. The producer may determine the market for a creative project, or the creative work itself may develop a novel market structure or business model. There are 2 levels of creative work: similar to the letter and envelope analogy, designing the envelope and writing the letter. The creative work itself is the letter. The supporting structure is the envelope. Business envelope making is an art form. The way we bring the next ordinary circumstance into awareness is by raising the extraordinary, the failed, and the not yet proven. The more you know about your cost structures, the more you can negotiate. A project has fixed costs, which are constant regardless of production fluctuations, and variable costs, which are related to production. These two are connected by determining the amount of sales required to cover fixed costs in a break-even analysis. The amount you make from each sale is your unit contribution. The process of art thinking is business thinking. If you want to know if a creative project or business can make money, look at these numbers. When designing the envelope, start with a cost structure. The costs of locating, hiring, or purchasing materials and people, formatting them, and managing them in other ways are known as the transaction costs. Determine the opportunity costs of other potential uses for resources allocated to a single project. You can clearly see how to strike a balance between efficiency and invention for your project by adding these components together. Using business as a design medium as a model, these models can help you figure out what the main artistic limitations of business are. Imagination problems arise when people who must replicate a previous success rely solely on their vision of what will occur without taking into account future scenarios. Concentration of interest problems are structural imbalances in which one market actor has a concentrated gain while many other actors on the other side of the transaction each have a diffuse cost that adds up to a greater loss when combined. Values that exist outside of the market are referred to as externalities. The repair company saves money by having fewer employees while you wait for a late repairman, but their gain comes at the cost of your time. Value and price are out of sync. Political problems. People who have special interests or conflicts of interest may place a higher value on their own interests than they do on the project's financial health. Character issues, innovation, and the impact of huge companies might lead individuals to feel they are not answerable for their decisions or that their activities don't make any difference. A company's best business solution may come from a single actor, but all of those solutions may harm the company as a whole. Common risk problems are when transactions that appear to be unrelated actually do relate to one another, despite the knowledge of some participants. The key to anticipating these issues is information, but people frequently avoid sharing data for fear of losing an advantage. The pervasiveness of capitalism refers to the fact that many people, including creative individuals, do not comprehend the workings of the market economy. They may remain unaware of their options because of this ignorance. Art thinking is, by its very nature, problem-oriented rather than solution-oriented. A component of art thinking or taking a creative approach to how you want to succeed is comprehending the relationship between market failures and business strategy. Some of these issues can be solved by working together. Designing your own metaphor, being questioned about one's occupation raises problems for people whose jobs don't show how much of their identity they have. Take a look at some of the most difficult times in your life and see if any of them can serve as a marker for who you are. Take into account unexpected inquiries like, who are you as an animal? What character would you play in a movie? The connective tissue in the body of knowledge, working across departments and fields is essential to business success and answering today's pressing questions as a result of the proliferation of data and specialized educational pathways. There probably wouldn't be a single person named Leonardo da Vinci if he were alive today. We all in discussion would be an aggregate Leonardo. You are looking for ways to dissemble cumbersome business models in order to squeeze more efficiency out of them, build them more nimbly and flexibly, and, increasingly, build a sense of community and purpose that is sustainable and expansive, the statement reads. It is becoming increasingly important to be able to discuss your activities with others. Read a magazine that isn't related to your area of expertise or connect with people from other areas. About the author Amy Whitaker works as an assistant professor at New York University in the Department of Art and Art Professions. She teaches and writes. Thank you for watching our video on Art Thinking by Amy Whitaker. We hope that you found the information valuable and that it inspires you to take action and apply the concepts in your own life. Remember, art thinking encourages us to be creative and to approach problems in new and innovative ways. So let's all strive to be the success face and embrace our creativity. Thank you for joining us on the Success Face channel. We look forward to bringing you more valuable content in the future. Your feedback is important to us. If you have any thoughts or opinions on the video, we would love to hear them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Share it with your friends and loved ones. We send you thousands of blessings, much success, and much happiness for you and your entire family.